During my time at CPAC, I got to meet North Dakota State Representative Cole Christensen, and we spoke about parental rights and the bill he introduced about making sure that parental rights are respected, and the importance of Republicans getting involved on all levels of government and not allowing the Democrats to have a complete takeover on other levels of government, because Republicans over the years have only been focused on Congress, Senate, and presidency, but there's a lot more than just that.
So one thing that we saw this last year was the National School Board put out a letter to the Biden administration calling for federal help to label parents that are getting involved in the political process domestic terrorists, because if they're raising their concerns at school boards, they're opposing what the national agenda would be. The way that they're combating parents getting involved is labeling them domestic terrorists. And obviously, if you're a parent and you care about what happens in the future for your children, that's a really big concern. One thing that we were able to do in North Dakota is we passed a resolution, House Concurrent Resolution 3049, that declares parents as the primary and chief stakeholders of their children's future. So what this does is it combats the national narrative to where school boards want parents' input, but they don't want the parents to run the show for their children's future. This gives everyone else, other than the parents, a seat at the table, but the parents control the narrative. So what parents can do with this is it states, parents are the primary stakeholders in a child's future. We repudiate these weaponizing labels for parents merely participating in the political process. And so what this does is it gives parents ammunition to go to their local school boards, so you build up your relationship with the school board members and have a positive relationship and say, this is what we believe. We believe that we are the primary stakeholders at home, at church. You know, we teach our kids what is important, and we believe that's the same for the education system as well. We want you to declare this at your local school board because we believe parents are the primary stakeholders. You have them introduce it, and if somebody votes against that, that's a huge red flag. So it's going to put a lot of pressure on them, and it will restore parent power back to the parents. And what the end goal of it is to distance ourselves from these national organizations that are stripping away the rights from parents to dictate what is best for their children. And it gives me a lot of hope because everywhere that I tell parents, like, this is something that you can do to make a difference in your local community. And they light up like finally somebody has addressed some of these problems. So it's really exciting for young parents or people that haven't been politically involved but are concerned with what's going on to know that they're not going to be called a domestic terrorist, because they're not. You are not a domestic terrorist if you care about what is being taught to your children.
Do you think that, people in general should be more involved in politics? Even only in a school board level, like people, it came out during COVID with the masks, and then people, kids were not homeschooled, but Zoom schooled, and parents started seeing the curriculum and were like, "What is going on?"
Absolutely. You know, the quote that always comes back to me, I don't remember who said it, but it's, if good men do nothing, evil will prevail. And there's a lot of crazy people out there that their entire agenda is to strip away your rights and control you. And me, like many others, I don't want to be politically involved. Like, I would do 1,000 different things than serve in the state legislature right now. But there's a duty to protect the rights of the people in your district and in your state, because we're inheriting this mess that we're seeing right now, and we have to pass on a legacy that our grandchildren can look forward to. And so everything that I am involved with or am pushing for is aimed at the end goal is liberty. And so I want my grandchildren to be able to grow up in a free and prosperous nation, and giving the power back to the parents is one of the first places to start, because the family is the backbone to society. So if we want to have a strong nation, we need to have a strong family that has strong family values.
Do you think Republicans have a problem with getting involved in the local level and in the state level? I mean, they only want to get involved in then go running for Congress, Senate, and president, and they let the Democrats rule the city councils and the school districts and all of the smaller cities.
I would say I come from a very rural district, and a lot of the Republican conservatives are a lot of business owners. They're very busy people, and they don't want to have to sacrifice their time to go to these meetings or to do city or school boards. Like, it is a huge sacrifice. So I would say yes, that a lot of Republicans, it's not convenient, right? It's a sacrifice to get involved and to do the right thing. But that doesn't mean that you can't set aside a week every month, or not a week, a day every month to do something that's going to be extremely beneficial for your children down the future. And I would encourage every conservative or Republican that can to get involved in those local offices, because what we saw is even if we passed legislation at the state level prohibiting the governor's office from putting in mask mandates, they would circumvent that with the city ordinances or county ordinances. I mean, it comes down to local control at the end of the day, and that's where you can have some of the biggest impact, is if you control the local level, your freedoms are going to thrive there.
Perfect, thank you. And you're running for re-election soon. Where can people find your website and see more about you?
So I'm running for re-election. The primaries in June. Expect it to probably be a little bit of a battle. I'm not sure yet. I'm on social media, Cole Pearson C on Instagram. I have a PayPal. You can find me on Facebook as well. I'd encourage everyone to get involved and do your best to support the right candidates. And that doesn't mean that you have to donate money. You can donate your time. Get involved. Go knock on doors for candidates that you share those values with. Because at the end of the day, we don't have much time to fix some of the stuff that's going on. So this election cycle is critically important for young people and for Republicans or conservatives that have not been involved to get involved and really make a difference.
Why did you run for office at how old were you?
So I wanted to get involved because I love my freedoms and I don't want them to go away. And somebody had to step up and fill the void of fighting for your freedom, and nobody else was doing it. And I couldn't just sit by and point the finger at other people if I wasn't myself willing to do it. And at the end of the day, it's our future. Like, my generation is inheriting everything that we see going on in the world. And we have to do something about it. We have to offer solutions to the table. We have to be willing to put in the work and the effort to fix some of these things, because, like I said, we're the leaders in the next generation. And me getting involved is not about me or my personal ambitions. It's about doing the right thing and fighting back against evil. So that's really why I wanted to get involved.
How long have you been elected?
I've been elected since 2020. I'm 23 right now, so I have to run for re-election. They redistricted me. So I guess, we're going to put up another campaign probably and give it my best shot. And that's honestly all a person has to do, is be willing to run and give it your best shot. Put in the work and the effort. So.
And do you recommend other young people to get involved?
I do. I think if you care about your freedoms, you have to get involved, because if we lose them, we're never going to get them back, right? And so I tell young people all the time, get involved with your local Young Republicans chapter, Young Americans for Liberty, or Run Gen Z. This is a group that helps young people get involved and help train them to be effective at running for, it doesn't have to be state house, it can even be mayor, city council, school board. And it's just about you personally taking everything that we see going on upon yourself and doing something about it. So absolutely, I think we are the future. We're going to be the ones to bring these solutions to these problems that we're seeing. So absolutely get involved and give it your best shot.
If you like this video and would like to see more of our CPAC coverage, please check out rebelcpac.com. You could also make a donation there to fund our independent journalism. Thank you.